for my glasses. Okay. No, I don't. Got water on my glasses. Number 124, YouTube Live Yoga Routine. Let me act like the camera is going. Is it? And yes, it is. Okay. This morning, like always, not always, but a lot of times, I was looking at quotes. That's what I've been sharing lately, is quotes, whether from the Bible, Quran, wherever, whoever. Sometimes I'm not sure if they are even from this. Well, I know the ones from the Bible and the Quran, but somebody might have said something. I'm not sure if it's really, if it was really said by that person. But regardless, it's about the truth of the quote. So no matter if the person said it or not, it doesn't matter because it's about the truth. So this is possibly one of those quotes. It's probably from Ernest Holmes. This is the quote from Ernest Holmes, "The Science of Mind." And the only reason I say this because it's dense. I don't know if that's the right word. Is compact, and there's a lot to it. And it's short, but there's a lot to it. And I know Ernest Holmes, or of Ernest Holmes, because I used to attend the Center for Spiritual Living. I'm still a member, actually. And I like the Center for Spiritual Living because they accept all paths. So my phone just went to the side. Okay. So here's the quote. "The more power one gives to his thought, the more completely he believes that his thought has power, the more power will it have." This is a lot there in that quote. That's how I'll word it. Because it's tricky, because essentially on the surface is just saying your thoughts have power and you control your thoughts, and essentially your thoughts create your reality. That's the simple way to explain that, the surface. But there's more to it, because belief is a thought, and it's almost like thoughts create new thoughts. And the power is in that ability to create a thought that will help you. This is not the right word, but will help you fix your thoughts. And this power is in the ability of being able to create your thoughts to have power. Tricky. But the surface is that you have the power to create your thoughts that will create the reality that you want to live. And with that said, there's more to it that I can go into, but then I would just confuse myself. I would actually have to write it down so I can get an outline of what I was really saying. I just came across that thought before I started the video. That quote. So with that said, I want to take that understanding of how thoughts create your reality and apply it to the type of yoga that I teach. Not the type of yoga, but the essence of what yoga is all about. And applying that essence on the yoga mat, which is a mindset. A mindset is a way of thinking, just like that was saying. And this way of thinking gives you so-called better understanding of life when you get off the yoga mat. So you get your thoughts together, you create positive thoughts, you can like the quote was saying, you get power in your thoughts, You create a non-judgment on the mat, mindset of non-judgment, of oneness, gratitude, all those type of thoughts, ways of thinking. And just like that quote was saying, is that you gain this mindset on the yoga mat and you take it out in so-called real world. And this new mindset, and I'll call it a new mindset because before you get on the yoga mat, sometimes, if a day goes 24 hours goes by, you start falling into the illusion of the real world, the illusion of the real world. And you start buying into, hey, this is real. This is how I feel. This is how I think. No, man, you readjust all those thoughts on the yoga mat and you start giving power to new thinking of oneness, non-judgment, venture, openness. Let's think of some a feeling of being peaceful, a feeling of, hey, I'm awesome, I'm true, be you, so be true, be you, honest, and just rearrange these thoughts on the yoga mat in a positive way so you can take that positive thinking off the yoga mat and apply it in the real world. And once you start thinking in a positive way, things start happening. Things start happening to you. Can't speak. That are positive. That's just the way it works. I've experienced that myself. And my minister from the Unity Church, the Center for Spiritual Living, explained it like this all the time. This is not what she said, but this is the gist of what she said. When you wake up in the morning and you feel like, you know what, today's gonna suck. You know what, today's gonna suck. You just spoke that into existence. But if you wake up and you think, okay, day's gonna be awesome. Your day's gonna be awesome. Because it's a mindset, and that's what we're doing on the yoga mat. I spoke longer than I thought I should. I don't have my contacts in. 5:37. Didn't mean to speak that long. I just read the quote and then made me say all that. Sorry. So today we're gonna do 2 slow sign salutations, just like we did before, but not as slow. And then we're gonna go into easy pose, wind down, and seal it up with a yoga seal. And in these poses, make sure you're focusing on the breathing. And I'll remind you that during the yoga routine. So feet are shoulder width apart, toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed. So no tension in the arms or the shoulders. And then think of yourself as being tall. So think of a string on top of the head. Pull yourself up, lengthen up, and then let all the bones settle. And let the skeleton stand as if you were just your skeleton. And focus on the breathing. Bring the palms together, thumbs go to the heart center. You're going to push the arms out, up and back. Inhale is the first stretch, so go nice and easy. Then exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back, and we're just going to fall into the ragdoll. Fix the clothes. And in the ragdoll, the arms are dangling, the head is dangling. You're just letting the body go where the body goes. Accepting where it goes. So if you're up, you're feeling like, man, I shouldn't go any further, or man, this is not good, let go of that mindset. That is not what we're doing. Let go of that type of thinking and just accept where you are. You're accepting who you are essentially. This is the mindset that you're learning on the yoga mat so you can apply it in the so-called real world. You're just focused on the breathing. Remember, when you're focused on the breathing, it heightens your awareness of what's going on in the body. Makes you aware of what's being stretched. It makes you aware of a so-called issue that you might have in the lower back or the shoulder or the arm or the neck or calf or whatever it may be. But the important thing is you're not focused on those things because those things are not you. Essentially, you're not your so-called issues, your so-called problems. So palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. You're going to arch the back. Raise the head. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can. Then exhale. Pull yourself in and down. Push all the air out. And again, arch the back. Raise the head. Inhale. Then exhale. As you exhale, you pull yourself in and down. Forehead's going to the knees. And arch the back. Raise the head. Inhale. Inhale as much as you can. Open up. Feel open. And then exhale, pull yourself in and down, push all the air out. We're going to do two more. Arch the back, raise the head. Inhale. Then exhale, pull yourself in and down, push all the air out. You're going to do one more. Inhale, arch the back, raise the head. Then exhale, pull yourself in and down, push all the air out. Opposite sides of the feet. Into a low lunge. With a low lunge, stop the foot to the floor in the back, knees to the floor, hips are square, back is straight or arched. Make sure the front knee is not over the front toes. And if it is, lengthen up some and just feel opened. So open up here, let go of judgment. So once you're settled in the pose, you're accepting where you are. And then you just settle and you focus on the breathing, feeling opened. What you're doing is getting the mindset of openness. That's the mindset that you're learning here on the mat. You're going to take this mindset off the yoga mat into the so-called real world. Feeling open to new ideas, open to new adventures, whatever it may be. And you're accepting. Learning acceptance. Now with the back foot, you're going to curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge, just settle here for a second or so, just as a transition pose. And then downward dog. With the downward dog, you're pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor, and you are pushing into this pose. But you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, accept where you are, and then just focus on the breathing. Once you're settled, you let go of judgment. You let go of trying to be somewhere. And you just accept. You're learning acceptance. Capital A, acceptance. You're taking that mindset off the yoga mat as well. You're going to slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and the chest. You slide up, tops of the feet are to the floor, palms are to the floor. You're opening up here. You're feeling open. Now, if you need to modify this pose, you go to hands and knees and then do the cow. Or you go to small cobra and just lift the chest off the floor. Palms are touching the floor, but you're not using them. And you're feeling opened. And if you feel like, man, I should bring myself out of it, bring yourself out of it. You're learning that too, listening to yourself. I'm just letting you know which poses to go into. Once you're there, you have to listen to yourself. Don't listen to me. Back to downward dog. This is a mindset too. Learning to listen to yourself. You take that off the yoga mat and you learn to listen to yourself. You take in what others say, but you don't just follow it. Learning how to listen to yourself. Become your own guru. You're not a follower. Don't be a follower. Unless you want to be a follower. You can be a follower. Left foot is up between the hands. Top of the foot's to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally, back is straight or maybe arched. Front knee's not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some and just feel opened. Just focus on the breathing. Again, when you focus on the breathing, it heightens your awareness, lets you know what's going on around you. This is a mindset too. Tapping into awareness. So when you're in the so-called real world, you're aware all mindsets. It's actually one mindset of oneness, but I'm splitting them up on the yoga mat just so we can understand them better. And then with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge, settle here for a second or so. Then move into the standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down. And in this pose, you're letting yourself breathe. So when you inhale, the belly swells with air, slightly pushes you out of the pose. Let yourself be pushed out. And when you exhale, the belly goes in, and you go back into the pose a little bit more. It's a subtle movement. You're aware of that movement. You're not focused on it. You're just aware of it. Just like you're aware of the stretch in the hamstrings or the calves or in the lower back. Again, you're gaining the mindset of awareness, especially on subtleness. So when you're in the so-called real world, you're aware of the subtle things around you. Very important. That's something we forget in our society. We think big. Everything is big. But little things are happening. Be aware of them. The palms together. Reach out. Up and back. Inhale. Exhale. Turn the palms out. They're down and out. And last one. That's the salutation. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge forward. We're going to move a little faster. A little bit more faster. A little bit more fastest. Pull yourself in and down, accept where you are. Just focus on the breathing, aware of the subtle movements of the belly, aware of what's happening in the body, even aware of what's happening around you. Like me, I know my door is cracked. I feel the air outside a little bit, the coolness. I hear a little bit of traffic. I'm aware of all that, but I'm aware of it because I'm focused on the breathing. Then left leg is back into a low lunge, opening up, feeling opened, accepting where you are, listening to the body. So once you commit to a pose, just because you commit to it doesn't mean you can't change it. So if you're in the middle of it and you feel like, man, I need to position this, do it. Do it. Listen to yourself. I'm just here to tell you which pose to go into. Once you're there, you're going to listen to yourself. Again, important mindset to take off the yoga mat. Be your own guru. High lunge, big downward dog. Pushing into it. You push into the spot right before you can go any further. You find that spot, settle there. Don't judge it. So if you're here in the downward dog, don't say, man, I wish I could go back further. Let that go. If you're doing it what we would call perfect, like the textbook pose, once you're settled there, that's awesome. But once you're settled there, you let go of that mindset as well. That's judgment too. That will prevent the mind and body from becoming one, which is yoga. So you slide into the upper dog and modify it how you have to feel open. Focus on the breathing. Back to downward dog, pushing into it. Really push into it now. Last downward dog. So you feel like, man, I can push into it more. Do it. You feel like, man, what are you talking about? I can't go any further. Don't do it. Listen to yourself. That's not the type of yoga we're doing. So left foot is up between the hands. That is the type of yoga. There's nothing wrong with that yoga. It's just not what we're doing. Feel open here. Think of the breathing. Focus solely on the breathing. Think of nothing else. Heighten your awareness. Then high lunge. Then standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Turn the palms out, push the hip down and out, exhale. Then you're going to go to mountain pose, settle in the mountain pose. So you lengthen up, let the skeleton stand as if you were just your skeleton. I'm just going to settle here before we go to the easy pose. Just to settle and focus on the breathing. Now, you're going to go to easy pose. With easy pose, you're going to go to the back of the mat if you want. I just go to the front. I usually go to the back. If I'm teaching a live class, I go to the back. But I want to be in front of the camera. So easy pose is the modification of the lotus. So hands are to your knees. Some people put them in the lap, in their lap, in the lap, in their lap. If you need to lean back, that's what you do. If you need to go to a wall, lean against the wall, that's what you do. If you need one leg up because you have something going on with your knee or your back, bring one leg up. Listen to your body. Don't listen to me. No, but that's important. You don't want to listen to me in the sense where, hey, I'm gonna do what he says. We're just doing yoga together. I'm just telling you what poses we're going into. And this is important because it's a mindset that you're learning on the yoga mat to become your own guru. And that's what you're learning. So when you go out in the so-called real world, you're listening to yourself. Essentially what you're doing is listening to the God within. And if you're an atheist, you're listening to the capital Y, then O-U, listening to you, yourself. It doesn't matter if you're atheist, believe in God or not. That has nothing to do with it. You're listening to yourself. So the self, if you're an atheist, say, for example, you go in the real world, say, hey, I don't believe in God. I'm not going to listen to God within. That's just a title. Okay? That's the capital S, self. You're tapping into the oneness. You're aware of the oneness. That's what you're listening to. Ultimately, you're listening to yourself. We just call it God within. Take it like you want. Personally, I believe in God. I believe in a creator. But if you don't, then you don't. Just focus on the breathing here. Think of nothing else but the breathing. You're going to tilt the head to the right. Right ear is to the right shoulder. Keep the left shoulder down. Back is straight. When you're focused on the breathing, it heightens your awareness. It makes you feel the stretch in the left side of the neck. Heightens your awareness, lets you know what's going on in the body. Maybe your back is getting fatigued. Maybe you're feeling something in the knee. Whatever it may be, but you're not those things. You're aware of them, but you're not them. And take the right hand, place it to the side of the head. Let the weight of the arm bring the head down. So you relax the arm, and that makes the arm heavy, and it pulls the head down. Now, naturally, you might still pull the head down a little bit, and if you are, that's okay too. Just try not to do it, and try not to do it too much if you can't help it. It's fine. Sometimes I catch myself pulling my head down. Doesn't matter. Just be aware of what you're doing. That's the key. And bring the head back to center. What time is it? 5:54. I lost track of time. I forgot even what day it was. And now you're going to tilt the head to the left. Left ear is to the left shoulder. Back is straight. Shoulders are level, so the right shoulder stays down. Just do the best you can and focus on the breathing. Again, when you're focused on the breathing, it heightens your awareness. Makes you aware of the stretch in the right side of the neck. Makes you aware of what's happening in the lower back or the knees or whatever. Makes you aware, like I just heard a car. I'm aware of the car. I'm not focused on the car. I'm focusing on the breathing. Heightens my awareness. Very important mindset to grasp. And then bring the head to center. Oh, I'm sorry. Bring the left hand to the side of the head. Let the weight of the arm bring the head down. Relax the arm. And just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. And then bring the head to center. Back and straight. Tilt the head back. And the chin is going straight up. So keep the back as straight as you can. And just focus on the breathing. Keep the knuckles, place them under the chin, pushing straight up. And drop the head down. Bring the chin to the chest. Focus on the breathing. And nothing else but the breathing. And cross the fingers together. Bring the palms to the back of the head. Let the weight of the arms bring the head down. So you relax the arms. The weight of the arms bring the head down. And if you're pushing, try not to push too much. Try not to push at all, but if you are, that's okay too. Try just to relax the arms. Keep the back straight and focus on the breathing. And go ahead. Bring the head to center. There you go. Neck rolls. Drop the head down to the right. Head drops down and goes around. You're exhaling. The head goes up and back. You inhale. You're focused on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but the breathing. And you're linking the movement with the breathing. You're just focused on the breathing. And what that does is allows you to be one with the movement, allows you to be aware of the movement. And when the head goes to the top, you're going to reverse. Exhale as you go down and around. Inhale as you go up. So the movement and the stretching is no longer just movements, stretching. It's a moving meditation. That's because you're focused on the breathing. Heighten your awareness. Let you feel the movement. Make you aware of the movement. Make you aware of the stretching. Make you aware of what's going on. And when the head goes to the top, bring yourself to center. Shoulder shrug, shoulders to the ears, back, down, around. And the shoulders are going up. You're inhaling. As the shoulders go back and down, you're exhaling. You're focused on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. And the shoulders go to the ears. You're going to reverse. Exhale as you go down and around. Inhale as you go up. Focus on the breathing. Link the movement with the breathing. And the shoulders go to the ears. Bring yourself to center. The trunk rotation is dropping down to the right. Down and around. Exhale as you go down and around. Keeping the back straight and reaching out. And when you're coming up, you're inhaling. Again, same thing. You're linking the movement with the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but the breathing. So the movement becomes more than just a movement. It's a moving meditation. You're becoming one with the movement. And then when the trunk goes to the top, you're going to reverse. Exhale as you go down and around. Inhale as you go up. And focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but the breathing. Then when the trunk goes to the top, you're going to bring yourself to center. And then you can do half spinal twist. The left hand is on the right knee. Right arm goes up. Pull yourself up. Think of the spine. So pull yourself straight up. Then you twist. Palm goes to the floor, send the back. Arm is straight and it's against the back. And make sure the head is twisting. And focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but the breathing. And go ahead and release. Take the center. And then the other side. So right hand's on the left knee, the arm goes up, pull yourself up, think of the spine, pull yourself straight up, then you twist, palm goes to the floor, center of the back, arm is straight. It's against the back. Make sure the head is twisting and you're focused on the breathing. Go ahead and release back to center. Get yourself centered. Now we're going to do the yoga seal. You're going to reach behind you, grab the left wrist with the right hand. You're going to lean forward. Bring the forehead down towards the floor, or it's to the floor. And you're sealing in all the benefits of the yoga poses, keeping the peace that you gained through the rest of the day. Then you bring yourself back up, hands go back in front. Back is straight, or straight as you can get it. You're just going to watch yourself breathe. So to watch yourself breathe, you focus on the belly. As you inhale, the belly expands. When you exhale, the belly goes in. Just watch that. Or bring your focus to the tip of the nose and watch the air go in and out. And when you're watching yourself breathe, it's easy to start controlling it. And when you realize, hey, I'm controlling my breathing, just let go and continue to watch the breathing. Many times in this pose, while you're watching the breathing, just start to think about other things. When you realize you've been thinking about other things, just stop and focus on the breathing. Don't judge it, just stop and focus on the breathing. What happens essentially and eventually, you realize you're the watcher. You're not your thoughts. You're not the control in the present moment. You're the watcher. So I'm going to stay here just a little bit longer. So just watch yourself breathe. Bring the palms together. Namaste. That's it. So that's 124 YouTube Live yoga routine. So I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.